When you first started teaching, what did technology look like?
Well, there was very few technology back in the day. We didn't have any graphing calculators or any fancy calculators like students have today. We used slide rules. There were also no whiteboards. Everything was done through chalkboards, just like kids use out in the playground. That's what we used to write in. And then if you wanted to project anything on the overhead, you would use an overhead projector. It would shine the light, you would write the information, and then you could use that to project on the wall. So at the end of the day, everybody's hands was blue.
What major milestones in educational technology have you seen?
Things have progressed tremendously, where kids have access to everything on their smartphones, and they have graphing calculators, they have iPods, iPads, everything that they can get to any answer that they want in an instant. Whereas before, it would take sometimes days, sometimes weeks before you could actually get to an answer, particularly in math, because you would have to hand crunch everything. And in order to get to the final answer, you would have to look at books for tables, whereas now all of that information is at their fingertips. Okay, what this is my laptop. I bought this one a long time ago, and this is what I would take in when I wanted to do any work. Okay, so what you have here, this is the case. It weighs about 30 pounds, so I would lug the 30 pounds with me everywhere that I went to. And here is the keyboard. So this was the first portable laptop computer. If you wanted to run any kind of software, nothing was built in like it is today. There was no hard drive in here. Everything was done through floppy disks. So if you wanted, you would put in a floppy disk, and you would have the software that you wanted to run. And then in order to have any data, you'd have to put a second floppy disk in order to capture the data that you would want on there. There was no internet connection at all. There was no access to the internet. There was no access to a network file or anything like that. Everything was manual. In today's world, that what I have now is a Microsoft RT device, Surface, so you can see the comparison in terms of size and capability.
How important was technology in planning and instruction when you first started?
Well, it wasn't really very important because there was very little technology. All of it was manual, so you didn't really have to take that into consideration. The only thing you have to worry about was that you had the mimeograph sheets in order to be able to run your copies. That's pretty much about it. Now you can. You can actually project the student work on your board, so you have access and students can see each other's work. You can see the difference in technologies. The slide rule, which really is all manual in terms of calculations. Moving on to a very basic calculator, and this was about $200 back in the 1980s. But it has just pretty much basic functions. It doesn't have any kind of graphing capability or anything like that. And then we move on to today's world, where students are using the graphing calculators. And the graphing calculators allow for students to be able to graph anything, get information in terms of data, be able to enter data in, to create equations. And this is about $100 nowadays. So there's quite a difference in terms of the changes in technology, in terms of math and capabilities that students have at their fingertips.